Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Chair Yoga. Today, I'm going to slow things down a little bit. Not that it's not going to be some good work for you, some good, strong, strengthening kind of things, and that, but slow it down so that you can really feel and notice what you're doing. And my purpose for that, lots of different reasons I think it's useful, but let's just say for today, how about, just starting to take a look at your habits. We look at take a look, and you have to kind of slow down because it's so habitual, the kinds of, and I'm going to talk about or bring to your consciousness, I guess, just the awareness of habits, that it has an energy of its own, and that let's just talk about it in terms of two kinds of habits or habit energy. That would be behavior, and that's just how you're moving through the world is one way, but how your routines, how you show up for your life. So there's habits of energy that have to do with behavior, and there's certainly habits of energy that have to do with thinking, how you think, how you perceive. And let's use a couple phrases that are tossed about these days. The inner critic. Can anybody identify with the idea of an inner critic? And just overall sort of pessimism, that's on one side of the spectrum. And then, of course, I'm sure all of us can identify we're not just camped in those two kinds of thinking, but there's also that we show up with more of a sense of always welcoming people, always, want to show up with kindness, always being polite. We wouldn't think otherwise. That too has become a habit that we certainly wouldn't want to change. But let's use another common word in our yoga practice. We've gotten to the place of habitual energy, habitual behavior, because we've practiced it. We've done it, done it, done it, always choose it, do it, do it, do it. And of course, now it's become a habit. Thinking, same way. We've practiced that. It's the way we show up. It is what naturally or immediately comes to mind because we have done it so long and so often. So just helping us all to, use the word practice and think, how could I make a change if a change is what I'd like to do? And recognize how you got into the one way of behavior was practicing. So I guess how you get out of that is also going to be practicing. So let's slow the practice, the asana, the movement today down so you can start to take a look at the way you approach, because there's so much familiarity about what we do. We've done basically the same kinds of things over and over in our chair yoga practice. So today I'm going to slow it down so that you can maybe take a look at how you're feeling it in your body differently, and how you might improve on that by increased awareness. Okay, so sit nice and tall, come forward on your chair. I will join you there. Oops, that has to go. The block is going to be between the legs. Now, squeeze that just enough that you can feel the engagement of your legs. Make sure your feet are straight. There's not one foot in front of the other, but that you've got them lined up nice and even. You're not using the backrest. You're going to lift your chest cavity up. You're going to lift yourself up. So even though I'm going to just be honest, I see this in the classes that I do. I give that kind of instruction, lift yourself up. And there's a whole number of people that don't make a single move. They don't change it a bit. And I'm thinking, that's this habit. They don't think it pertains to them. We will think, well, I'm all right. It doesn't pertain to me. There's no more room for growth. Well, there is. There often is. So just lift up your chest cavity so you feel like you're really using your good posture. Arms are real close to your side body. Let's close the eyes down and turn our hands to face open. Let's take a big hearty breath in, all the way in and all the way out. Slow your breath down so you can start to become more aware of it, and more aware of the fact that you are now participating in your breath. Relax around your mouth. Make sure there's no tension in your mouth and tongue, facial muscles entirely. So think about the eyebrow area. Sometimes that's a habit where we just have kind of a wrinkle there. We just have a little tension. So soften that now. Let's just soften it. Press your feet to the floor so it feels like you're making an imprint of where you are. And let's think about it that way. I was here today. I'm here. I'm making my imprint in the world right here, right now. Lift up your chest. Keep lifting up your whole rib cage. Now find some engagement, some contraction in your belly. The strengthening kind. You're pulling in and up. That's the direction of it. Not so much so that it affects your breath in a negative way, just enough that you can feel that you're doing something different. You're holding yourself in a place of strength. Breathing all the way in and all the way out while you do this. Our palms are open as our gesture of receiving. Occasionally, I will mention, I'm going to do that today, that gesture, that open palms could also mean a release, a gesture of letting go. It could be both. It is all by intention. So maybe as you inhale, you're trying to draw in the energy of, positive change or outlook. And as you exhale, you're trying to release or let go of those things that has been kind of on your mind, but you can't seem to shake the habit. And your feet are making an imprint right where you are. Stay with your breath. This is our transitional time. We're bringing ourselves into our practice, changing gears. No outside interferences. We're going to completely be here and now, present to this experience. I'll remind you, exhale completely. It's the best tool in our tool bag. Exhale completely. Good. Let's soften the eyes now. Open up. Get used to your light and your space. Let's take a big breath in as arms come up and overhead. We're going to touch palms. Inhale up. Exhale, bow into your heart. Inhale back up. Hold that. Lift up. Press your feet to the floor. Lengthen through your spine. It's like your whole upper body is trying to get taller. Any space at all. We'll take it all. We'll just take whatever we can find. Strong legs. When it's time to exhale, we're coming into the goddess posture. So we're bending those elbows and keeping our hands. Let's open the hands like starfish. So stretch your hands open, fingers spread apart. Inhale here, lift up, and exhale as you bring your arms together. A nice way to move through your shoulders. I like to pull back. So I'm trying to explore the full range of movement, keeping my arms held at a particular way with elbows bent and arms lifted at the height of my armpits. Inhale is the open position. Exhale is when you're closing it. Squeeze and close it and feel how your shoulder blades are moving around. Squeezing your shoulder blades together is opening. Closing spreads your shoulder blades apart. Can you bring your awareness to that subtle movement? Check in with your neck. See if there's any tension you just kind of have accepted as a habit, because it's like I always feel a little bit of tension there. Or who knows, I've never checked in. I have no idea if I'm holding tension in my neck. And I'm going to tell you, let's open into the goddess position, just this open position. That the secret, here you go, write it down. The thing that I have found to be connecting the dots that is so useful is that how you hold your head affects your shoulders. How your shoulders are being held affects your neck and your head. They can't be separated. They're always functioning together. So lift yourself up. Use the strength of your core, your whole shoulder carriage to keep yourself upright, and that's going to automatically offer some relief from your neck, the pressure and tension in your neck. It will automatically do that. And being mindful of how heavy the head is so you can keep yourself upright. So when our spine's aligned and our head just sits right on top of that well-aligned spine, we're functioning at our highest capacity. That's how this body was designed. So when we keep ourselves upright, we're going to feel better throughout the neck and shoulder area. Let's lift up now into the Y position. So keep your hands spread apart. Lift up now. Pull your arms and hands back. Lift your chest a little bit. See where you can go in terms of lifting your face to look up to the ceiling. Press your feet. Make that imprint on your space right here, right now. And when we come back to neutral, we're going to clasp our hands. So we're interlacing hands that'll just bind us together. So when we move to the side, we don't have to fuss about it. We bound our arms together. I want you to find the pace that seems natural for you, just side bending. That's an area of your abdominals, the sides, the side wall. We're going to need to have a lot of strength there for yoga. We always do. So we're just going to stretch that out. Notice, of course, how your head is being supported by your upper arms. You got your arms close to your head. And I say head is being supported, really, I mean neck is being supported, because your head is nicely aligned right there. But you got that safety net of your arms right alongside there to provide security and support for your neck. Next time you're bending towards your left, let's hold that, bending in towards your left. Hold that. Push your feet to the floor. Feel your armpit chest. So you're bringing your awareness down, like you're trying to deepen into the pit of your arm. That armpit, you want to feel like, you mean you can actually bring your mind into that space? Yeah. Yep. We can bring our awareness and our mind into the armpit, deepen it. Exhale completely. Come back up. Make sure your breath is caught up. Don't go to the other side till you're all ready to go. You caught up with your breath. And then we keep our arms close to the head and ears. Go deep into your armpit. Just make it up. If you're thinking, I have no idea what going into my armpit would be like, I'll bet you could figure it out. Just figure something out. Awareness deep into that armpit chest. Full breath in, full breath out, really stretching now the side body. Let's come back up. And when we release, we're back into the Y. We're going to pull those hands and arms. I got mitten hands on. I'll encourage you to put your mitten hands on. Lift your chest if you can. Let your face lift up toward the ceiling. Just notice how much more room you've got to do it now than maybe the first time you tried it. And when we bring ourselves back to neutral, palms will just face forward. Nice extension of the arm, no bend in the elbow. And let's come all the way down and back. Inhale all the way up and back. Exhale all the way down and back. And notice how you're feeling this. Notice if there's any adjustment you might make. Keeping your arms very close to the side, close to the chair, close to you. We want to avoid, I'm going to move something different. I want you to keep moving your arms like we've been. I'm going to show you something different while I talk. Keep it up. What we want to avoid is kind of hunching. So if you're feeling yourself that when your arms go up, you just automatically sort of bring your shoulders up around your neck and ears. That's what we're trying to avoid. So bringing awareness to that, being aware that that might be a habit you've developed, is going to help release some of that. And we want it to be released. It's so much better for your movement, for your full range of movement, when we can dislodge some of that kind of wasted tension. Let's meet with palms together up and overhead. Let's take a big inhale together. Exhale as you bow to your heart. I want you to pause right here. Really press your palms together so that the butt of the hand is pressing not just your fingers and your knuckles, but you're pressing your butt of your hand together. And it allows you to spread your elbow wings away from center. Now, can you let your shoulder blades slide down your back? Lift real tall so you feel the length of your spine. And then when we drop our chin in this bowed position, we should feel a stretch through the back of the neck. Let's bring our thumbs to rest right into the chest bone. That's our sternum. So thumbs are resting into the sternum. Press your hands very, definitely, really kind of using your intention here to keep the butt of the hands, fingers, knuckles, all of that pressing. Press your feet to the floor. Make your imprint. When it's time to inhale again, we will lift that up and exhale all the way back and around. Arms are going to land right alongside the frame of the chair. Pull back, chest forward, chest forward. Remember, clear the space around your neck, around your ears. You're getting the shoulder blades back and down. Breathing both in and out, feeling the extension of your spine. Now here's one, when we come into our cat pose, this is one that I, again, notice quite a bit. I'm turning, you don't need to. That we don't pull forward. You're not going to pull forward and hunch over like that. That's not what we're looking for. We want to keep our shoulders right above our hips, and the roundness of the back comes somewhere in between there. So you've got to pull your back, pull the roundness, the curve toward the back of the chair, not this. Don't come forward. So check it out to see if that's kind of how you have been doing it. That felt like that was what I was saying. So shoulders are going to be lined up over your hips, and you're pulling the back body toward the backrest. And maybe you don't get as much curve. Maybe the C-shaped curve shape changes considerably because it's not, but trust me, that's the way you want to do it. That's what you want to find, is keep your shoulders above your hips, and just, you're going to start getting a lot more movement in the vertebrae, a lot more stretch in the little muscles that support the vertebrae. So now we've got it. We can do them both. Inhale up, exhale into the C-shaped curve. So you're going to find your own rhythm. Slow it down. I really encourage you to slow it down so you can feel if you're doing it right. And I guess I'm just going to use that word, not try to cover it up with something different, but just to find right alignment, to find the best way you can move and use this practice, use these postures and these movements that yoga has introduced to us to really help and make it, improve our body's health, improve the fluid movement of our spine. Remember, we want to take a full breath in and out. So that's going to take a little more time in the pose so that you can utilize your fullness of breath. And to feel that in your body, right down to your bones. Now, this is where I love the chair. Doing cat and cow in the chair is so ideal because we can really use the frame of the chair, glide your hands past the chair, just keeping yourself within that framework is just ideal. Last time when we come up, we're going to be in the extended spine. So pull up, let your chest come forward, forward, forward. See if you can reach your fingertips way far behind you. So my hands have left the chair. I'm trying to reach back to the wall behind me and lift my face up a little bit. There's a back bend. Breathe in, breathe out. Press your seat, press your sit bones, the boniness that you can feel in your hips, press that right into the chair. That's it. Now, when you come back, bringing your head to neutral, let's extend out into our T shape. Open up your hands again, spread your hands wide open, fingers are stretched, and you've rotated your arms so much so that the thumbs are pointing straight back. Then I want you to just move with that. So thumbs forward, comes back. So you're just going to practice rotating. Again, this is one I often find I say these very words to a group of people, and 4 or 5 people don't move at all. Don't move at all. They, they don't think it applies to them. That's what I have determined is like they're already doing what they will do, in terms of habit. And I'm not saying in whatsoever that we all have to find the perfect movement here. It's the efforting. It's the efforting that I'm really encouraging us to all do. Beautiful. Let's meet with palms up and bring those hands together up and overhead. Reach up, reach up. Get your arms as close to your head as you can. Exhale, bow, press your hands, get your elbows to spread apart like little wings. Inhale up. Exhale all the way down like a backstroke. Beautiful. Let's take the block and put it under our chair now and begin to move so we're crisscrossing a little bit. So let's start by getting the legs in motion. Hold on to your chair if you'd like, or hold on to your waistline somehow. So you're going to feel nice and stable in this movement. Just bent knees lifting up, bent knees lifting up. Maybe you bring your hands to your low belly. So when you lift up your leg, you can kind of feel what's going on in there. There's some belly action going on. That's part of the musculature that's helping you lift. Lift and hold wherever you are. Lift and hold. Stick it straight out. Come back to the lift and hold and return and come back to the other side. Now lift and hold. Extend a straight leg out. Bend the knee, lift and hold, and back down. It's just that simple. Lifting, straight leg, bent knee, back to the floor, finding your rhythm. You can always hold the chair. You don't have to be locked into something. If you started one way and you think I'm going to need more help here, you just shift. You just automatically give yourself more support so you can sit up real tall. Let's even it out. Feels like we've done the same number on each leg. Both feet to the floor. Let's bring our hands to our thighs now and move through just a little bit of the C-shaped curve of the cat and lifting up to more of a neutral position, just letting those shoulders pull back. C-shaped curve of the cat, keeping your shoulders stacked right above your hips. And then just gently bringing yourself up, bringing your arms back, and then the shoulders draw toward each other. Just a little reset. We're going to come back to the legs. We're going to bring our hands right to our shoulders. So let's do some circular movements here. See if you can move without ducking your head. Isn't that just an automatic that we just sort of want to tuck our head? Keep your head upright and then do your movements of your arms. Change the direction of that. If you haven't done it yet, do it now. We're going to want to move it both ways, drawing those elbows toward each other right in front of us and then spreading them apart. If you can hold it like this, do that. If there's a different way for you, because this is long lasting, just create whatever you can to crisscross a bent knee coming to that bent elbow right in front of you. Inhale is open and feet are on the floor. Exhale is when you're crunching and bringing elbow and knee together. See if we can really spiff up our practice by doing a particular breath pattern. Inhale, open. Exhale is kind of closing it all together right in the center. I think that still works. Inhale is open and exhale is close. We'll find that rhythm for ourselves. And then do 2 touches. So when you come into your crunching your bent knee, do it twice. Remember to push your foot down and then bring it back up. Put it on the floor, bring it back up. Find your breath, find it now. Let's just know where it is, know that we're breathing, participate in your breath. One more on each leg. We do 2 little touches on each leg. There we go. Back to our neutral position. Let's release those arms kind of like a backstroke, release it all the way around. Let's take the whole sweeping action of that all the way up and all the way around. Let's bind our legs together. Left leg, right leg over right, right leg over left. Sorry about that. Squeezing, stacking your knees, kind of squeezing yourself together. Make sure you feel balanced in your pelvis. So make sure you've made your subtle adjustments if you need to. The standing leg should be right underneath your cross legs. So don't tuck that foot way underneath you. Keep it nice and strong right there in the middle. And then let's just gently, not with a lot of arm movement, with just accentuating the movement right here at the waistline, right there at the center of the trunk. We're going to just start twisting away from our feet. And keeping ourselves vertical, that we're not leaning. So you might find as you slow it way down that the emphasis on not leaning changes things a lot. And it feels so different for you that you think, this can't be it, because I don't feel so much twist. Let's go for keeping ourselves upright as the highest good. And then we're going to twist as much as that upright spine will allow us to do. And once you kind of got the handle on that you feel pretty confident about that, I want you to pay attention to the shoulder blade. The back shoulder blade is going to be the one that you're really working. And I have always liked this technique of kind of increasing the movement of the shoulder blade on purpose, like single shoulder rolls, to help us get a little more range of movement in there. So introduce the individual shoulder roll, if that would apply to you, if that would be beneficial, to bring you into a deeper position of this twist. That instead of using the chair so significantly, believe me, I'm a fan of using the chair in lots of different ways, but sometimes, we want to get down to the actual nuts and bolts of how our body has been, what the capability of our body on its own without so much support of the chair would be. And then bring yourself to a place you can hold. Tuck your hand back there. Maybe you're almost sitting on it or you're pressing it against the back of your body. Whatever you've learned is a great way to support that back hand, pulling back and helping you twist as much as you are able. Lift up your chest, lift up your sternum, and breathe through this whole thing. Breathe through your shoulder blade, breathe into your neck and your head. Breathe into the squeezing of your legs and the imprint your standing leg, your standing foot is making right here, right now. Exhale completely and then unwind and unwind some more. And we'll come back and switch sides. So you're just going to recross your legs, center, make sure you're balanced in your pelvis. That standing leg is well positioned. It goes lots of different ways, and I'll just put myself right into all that category. Sometimes my foot's stepping too far away, and sometimes I've got it tucked too much under the chair. So we have to be mindful that it's well positioned. And then we're just going to start to rotate ourselves, rotating the upper body around that spinal column. Keeping yourself vertical, that you don't feel yourself leaning. You're just wanting to really emphasize the balance of your pelvis, supporting a vertical stance with your spine. And then you can start your individual shoulder rolls to bring your awareness into the shoulder blades involvement in this movement. Let's deepen the breath. Maybe the breath gets a little noisier. We got to pay attention to how we're holding up and managing the weight of our head. Deeper breaths, and then you'll set it up. Eventually, you'll be all set, bringing your hand back to stay. No more shoulder rolls. Lifting up, lengthening the spine. No leaning, really feeling into the verticality of your spine and letting that verticality of the spine really manifest itself in the crown of your head, lifting the crown of your head up. That's it. Full breath in and full breath out. We're going to unwind step by step, shoulders next, and we'll bring both feet to the floor and we'll take our wider stance. We're going to move into the toning of the perineum. Hands are on the thighs. Let's start by just folding forward and back up. Again, I'm going to give you a side view. You don't have to do anything different. Just coming as far down as you can and then back up to upright. Let's not try a back bend here. We're just going to bring ourselves forward and back and let the chest bone lead the way. Boy, don't I want my chin to lead it. But let your chin pull in towards your throat. So your chest bone is leading the way in this forward and back movement. Press your feet, both feet now making an imprint in a wider angle. Let's find our sweet spot somewhere in the middle there, somewhere in the middle as you press your hands into your legs and you're going to squeeze your elbows in towards your waist. Pull your chin in towards your throat. Now push your feet, and it's going to help you lift your perineum right up off the chair seat. Lift and hold, use the strength of your legs. And then, of course, you'll relax as you exhale and start again, pressing as you inhale, long inhale now to help you to retain the toning. Take a long inhale, and you can use a little pause where there's no breath at all. And then you relax it all, exhale completely. Stay with that. Just going to throw out the shape of the mouth. Sometimes we want to do that. Create the O shape of your mouth. Create an O shape with your lips in your mouth. Let that inhale come through that. It's just you adding a little more bonus to this, the knowledge of the vagal tone, creating more connection to your vagus nerve as you also strengthen the pelvic floor. And why would we pay attention to the vagus nerve? The vagus nerve impacts so much of our daily movement, our daily awareness in our body is influenced by the vagus nerve. Remember, retention, you're holding as long as you can, really strengthening that pelvic floor with the inner thighs pulling in and up. One more. And release. And we're going to do a forward fold now. So let's just either slide your arms down your legs if that's the way that you get into it the best. Or if you like to extend yourself away from your chair so that your armpits can layer on top of your knees. Deepen the breath, surrender the weight of your head. If your feet are too far apart, if the way we were set up just doesn't fit this movement for you, just fix it. Just bring your feet a little closer together. Remember, your feet are lined up with your knees, though. When you move your feet, you got to move your knees as well, so that your knees and your ankles are always right on top of each other. You just keep them aligned. Try to look down and under the chair, so you're totally surrendering the weight of your head here. What do we do here? Belly breaths, right? Belly breaths. Nourishing your organs of digestion. Big belly breaths. And it's a surrendered position. So it's just hanging out like a rag doll as you just bring your full awareness into these big belly breaths to benefit the organs that reside there. Let's jump our hands one at a time to our thighs. Squeeze your elbows in towards your waist. Come up halfway. Lift your chest, lift your chest. I want you to feel like you're creating a cow pose. You're lifting your chest. You got your arms pulled back and your shoulder blades are squeezing. So think of this as a version of the cow pose. Chest is lifting, head is upright, and you can feel the arch of your back body and you can feel your seat really connected to that chair. Let's spread our arms away from us like wings. Press your feet. Now make that imprint. Chest, chest, chest. Deep breath. In and out. Bring awareness to your neck, how your head is managing how you're managing, I should say, the weight of your head. And so that's all the function of your neck. Awesome. You held that a good long time. Come up into your T. Flip your hands so palms are open. Your fingers are spread open. Breathe in, breathe out. Both hands lift up. We're going to alternate a little kicking again. So bringing arms, straight leg out in front, touching some part. Last time, touch each side. Big lift up. Reach all the way down through its full range of motion. And then I want you to just sort of kick your feet up in the air. So you have to tilt yourself back and then let your pelvis lift up off of that chair seat a couple times. Pay attention now. Slow it down so you can really pay attention to the movements. When we lift ourselves up off the chair, hold it. So you've got yourself in a little squatted position here. Keep your feet straight. Look down. See how your feet are. You want your feet straight. Arch the back body like you're making your cow pose. You just brought your cow pose up. You stood up into your cow pose. Chest lifts up. You feel the arch of your back body. Can you spread your arms away from you? Press into your feet. Get into your legs now. And then we'll lift up, straightening into this neutral position of an upright pose, our mountain. Pull the belly in. Let's get our arms close to the sides. Turn your palms to face up. Look straight out. Close your eyes when you're ready, if you're ready. And let your breath just find its natural smoothness again, the rhythm of the smooth breath. Feel the vitality in your body. We're well on our way to a vibrant and healthy body. Alert and focused mind, loving and compassionate heart, and the experience of lightness of being. Finish the breath you're on. And then we're going to come open up your eyes, and we're going to come near our chair so we can have the support of it. I think I'm going to move my block completely out of the way. And turning the chair so that you have the back of the chair available to you as a touchstone. So I want you to see about this. We bend the knee and we touch the heel behind us. So you can bend your knee. I'm just using the leg that's near the chair for now. And then if that seems like, well, there's nothing to that, see if you can make it a little bigger action, reaching up and touching. And then the next layer is that you turn your head to look at what you're doing. You lift up, maybe look up, and then you look over to where your hand is reaching towards your heel. And if you want to challenge yourself or kind of keep working on your stability without the use of the chair for support, hand could be at the waist. I find I need a little bit of both. I can do one or so. Maybe even the next one, I got to touch the chair for steadiness. Is there any way you could grab hold of that foot? I just squatted a little bit and then I could get hold of my foot. See if you could do it too. So I just sort of had to bend so I could find it, and then I can stand back up. But pull it off, not just behind you, but bring it over where you are doing the touching. And if that's not available to you, just hold it, the bent knee lifting up. But if you can grab hold of the foot, that's a nice addition. If you're holding onto your foot, see if you now can just turn palms up as you let go of the chair. Beautiful. Let's get that back to the floor, shake it out. wherever you found that to be kind of, boy, that was tight in there, or that was more movement than I thought, see if you can release that now by your reset, that you're going to get really at it to reset. We're going to switch sides. Take your deep breath, make sure you're all caught up on the breath, and it's just trying to touch back there. We're going to just see if we can bend our knee and sort of reach back there. And once you get the hang of it over here, we're going to look at it. So you want to look down there. And then if the bigger action is lifting up that hand and reaching down. Lifting up and looking at it. Can't touch this one as easily as I could the other one, but I just go in that direction. Find your smoothness of breath. And then if you are game to try that, see about bending your knee, bending to see if you can get hold of it. Yeah, I just had to kind of crouch down. There it is. I can find it now. Stand up as tall as you can, bringing your foot over toward the side a little bit. And then see if you can balance with your palm up instead of hand on the chair. Just choose, you just take it off of the chair for just a brief moment. And then you can come back to balancing. Deepen the breath. Beautiful. Let's bring that leg down and I'll shake that out. Get it out of you. Matter of fact, let's open up the feet so we can really intentionally move the pelvis around. Use your skills as your hula hoop champion that you are. Get those hips to go all the way around. And then change the direction of it whenever it feels right to do, but at least do it once. Beautiful. Let's turn toward the back of the chair and create our L-shaped stretch. Extend out, bend your knees like crazy to begin with. Just listen up. I know you can do it. Hands are on the chair. You've walked far enough back that you feel a full extension of your arms. Bend the knees like you're squatting. Bend the knees like you're squatting and pull your buttocks back. Bent knees and pull buttocks back as a way to lengthen through your back. You're pulling through the butt to lengthen through your back. Deepen your breath. Ideally, your arms are going right past your head and right past your head by way of your ears. Squatting your knees, pulling your butt back. Now press into your toes and just see what happens as you press into your foot more completely with the emphasis on pulling your butt back, pulling back, lengthening the spine, and now pressing your feet to make an imprint, including a toe imprint. Beautiful. As we start walking toward the chair, take your right foot step forward. Both legs are straight and they are the distance of your chairs. You got one foot lined up with one side of the chair and your other foot is lined up with the other chair leg. So you've got that much space between your legs, but your hips are shining straight forward. Inhale up, palms together overhead. Hold that. If you need one hand on the chair to steady you, for sure do that. But bring your body upright and lengthen the arm that you can all the way up, straight legs. Press the ball mound of big toes so the inner arch of your foot is more active. Ball of the big toes, and your big toe now is pressing into the floor even more so. Another way of looking at that is if you had a block you could somehow configure and you're squeezing that block between your thighs, even now with your legs positioned like they are, can you find that action of squeezing the block between your thighs? Inhale with me here. Exhale into your goddess arms. Elbows bent, hands wide open. Chest, chest, chest. Let your chest bone extend out and up and see if you can tilt your face toward the ceiling. One hand can be on the chair anytime you need it to be. Steady now, steady your feet. Feel your feet making an imprint. Your whole self is making an imprint here and now. Let's bring both hands back to the chair and bring both feet back together. So bend the knees and straighten them. So you're going to just kind of work out any tension we have in the legs by bending and straightening. Let's try it again. Extend back into your L shape, hands on the chair. Bend the knees quite a bit. Feet are straight, feet are even. Pull back through the buttocks, arms right past your ears. Pull back through your buttocks. Deepen your breath. Keep pulling. You're still pulling back through your buttocks, stretching back. Now bring awareness back to your feet, including your toes. Soften your neck. Make it be all about strong legs, strong butt, pulling back. Exhale completely. When we start walking forward, we're going to switch. And now the left leg is forward, the right leg is back. We've got scissored legs. Use those chair legs to help you line up. Hips are shining straight toward the chair. Stand upright. And let's find the goddess arms once again. Elbows bent. Hands are open wide. Let's try a little open and close. So inhale, open. Exhale, bring those palms and forearms together. See if you can find some movement like that. You don't need to do it as often as your breath moves if you don't choose to. Let's meet with palms together and forearms together. And if this position has never worked particularly well for your body shape, let's just cross over where your hands come to your shoulders and you just crisscross your arms right out in front of you. Can you release tension in your neck? Beautiful. Let's get both hands to the chair, step back and shake it out. Really give it a kick off to the sides. Give it a kick to the side. Now let's do our down dog in slow motion. So let's make sure we can get ourselves positioned near the seat of the chair. And I want you to keep your hands closest to the front part of your chair as you can, not too far back, kind of right here, closer to the edge of it. And then start walking back and just keep your shoulders up. You're not going to get into dropping your head yet. You're going to try to get your feet in position next. So you come back, back, back. Now hold that. Line up your feet. Make sure they're straight. Your feet are as far away from the chair as you feel safe. Hold that. Keep your hands just where they are. Drop your shoulder carriage. Drop your head all the way down through that center. Breathe in, breathe out. Come back to where you started, where you just have yourself lifted up, almost like an all fours position. And then you drop slowly through that center space, letting your head fall right between your arms. Your arms are now gliding past your ears. Pull your butt back, pull back. You can bend your knees anytime you need to. Let's come back to where we started. So we're just bringing ourselves up. Our head lifts, our shoulders are coming up. Now pull back, pull back, pull back. Let the head just drop between your hands, between your arms, I mean. Beautiful. Let's start walking toward the chair and bring yourself all the way near the chair so you're in your tabletop position. Your shoulders are right above your wrists. You know, if your hands don't do well with this stretch, making a fist with your hands and letting that be your connection to the chair seat is another way to do that. It's very supportive of wrists if you have that kind of tendency. So I want to round through the back body. Let's stick with our cow-cat kind of theme here. And then extend that leg back and we lift the chest up. So bring a knee towards your face, rounding, pulling your belly in. Extend it back and away, chest lifts. One more here. Extend, it's like a cow pose. Both feet to the floor. Let's take a little break in between. Just shake a little bit out, bring yourself up. How about interlacing your hands behind your back, pulling back, giving yourself some nice stretch through the shoulders and through the pecs. Let's finish it up now. Palms come to the chair. We're back into our tabletop. And we're going to round the back body as we bring knee toward the face. And when you extend that leg straight back, toe pointing down, you lift your chest and you lift your face up. Find some rhythm of movement here. It's another version of cow and cat, very familiar. Pay attention though, slow it way down. Last time, extend, push that foot back, both feet to the floor, bend your knees like crazy, get your feet further apart. And let's take a little squat here. So you're just going to straighten the legs and bend the knees, holding onto the chair. If you're feeling this as pain in your knees, I don't want you to do it. You've got to be able to pull your body weight back away from your knees to do this and do it well. Let's come all the way up, all the way up. Palms come together overhead. Let's take our inhale. Exhale at the heart. Inhale up and exhale all the way around. Take another backstroke, inhaling up, exhaling all the way around. Great, it's time for Shavasana. So if you're going to get a second chair, this would be the time to get your chair and set it up to support your extended legs. Otherwise, we just find our way into our comfortable place. I'm going to put on a cover, a little layer will help me here today. So I'm going to add that for my Shavasana. You know, sometimes the changes we're trying to make in our lives, you know, it's just, we know it's an improvement. The changes, we're just convinced that what we would like to see in our lives is going to improve it, but it's almost scary. You know, when we've done something so long, so much has been revolved around a particular behavior, a particular thought process. It's scary to change it. You just don't know what's the unknown. You know, how will I feel about that? How will I do? So it takes some quieting of the mind and trusting the heart. And so I'm going to encourage you now when you come into your Shavasana to just stack your hands and lay them right into the heart chakra, which is that chest bone area. And just relax with that, you know, trusting the wisdom of the heart. Really let the chair support you. Lean into it. Watch as your breath slows itself down. This might be the time when you start surrendering to your breath's natural rhythm, no longer controlling and participating in your breath. You're simply going to be aware of it as it finds its way home to your natural rhythm of quieting. Do a body scan. It's such a loving thing to do at this time of your practice. Scan your body to see what your efforts have resulted in. What's the felt experience of the movement in the breath work that you've done? Breathe all the way in. You're just feeling the fullness of that breath in. You're feeling the fullness of that breath going out. It's very important to give your mind something to focus on. You know you're at the end of class and it's so tempting. It's probably a habit to kind of start lining up what's next. What am I going to do next? Who should I call? What happens after this? Could you bring yourself fully aware of just your breath for a few more minutes? Fully aware of your relaxed state for a few more minutes? Fully aware of your loving heart for a few more minutes? This practice is not intended as any sort of criticism of your lifestyle and choices that you make on a daily basis, routines. It's not a criticism for any of us on those things. It's a way of recognizing, how we move through the world, so that if we chose to, if we wanted to make some changes or see something different about our life and our life experience, that we'd know that it's about a practice. We start practicing something new. And we do that because we love ourselves into it and we deserve it. We deserve the opening, the shift that we crave, the freedom maybe from our habit energy. Relax your shoulders, soften the belly. Stay with your breath. The poem for today is slow motion prana. Slow motion prana. Hands lift, float, drift. No mere dream. This is life force made manifest. Healing held in the palms of your two hands. Let's stay with that stanza. Hands lift, float, drift. No mere dream. This is life force made manifest. Healing held in the palms of your two hands. Let life and prana lift you to a place you've never visited before. Breath, heart, and body now aligned. Find the peace that mind can only dream of. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth with a big sigh. Continue to do those cleansing breaths as you bring yourself back to alignment. So you're going to bring your feet back to the floor, come forward on the chair again, using the cleansing breaths as long and as often as you need as we make our final transition here. Let's close with an experience of gratitude. So I want you to just, hug yourself, cross your arms in front of yourself, and just grab hold of your shoulders and your arm area as like a hug. And just, rock yourself a little bit, squeeze, and give yourself this appreciation for this. Just so grateful that you come to yoga, you make the time for it. And when I say come to yoga, I just mean literally that you come into this space that you've created that gives you this body awareness, that gives you back to, your mind can come back to this place of love and appreciation for your good health, and that you want to participate in that good health. You're going to do everything you can to stay healthy. Appreciate that. So grateful for this time. So grateful for everything, everything that has led to this very moment. Let's sync up our breath this final time. Inhale with me, palms come together overhead. Look up. Exhale as you bow to your heart. Inhale back up. And exhale, let's share this energy, this grateful energy, this appreciation all through our communities. What a beautiful gift. And palms can come together at the heart as we now close. We bow to ourselves, we bow to each other. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for joining me.